Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to check out the 2023 BMW 228i Gran Coupe. Huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this sedan for me today. Check out their website, that link is down in the description. The 228i that you see behind me is finished off in black sapphire metallic, and we'll go over the MSRP later in today's video once we go over all the exterior and interior features, see if it's worth that MSRP. So we'll start off today's review underneath the hood, where this has the 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. This pumps out 228 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent to the front wheels. This weighs in right around 3,300 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 5 seconds with a top speed of 130 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 13.2 gallons. You'll expect to see around 24 miles per gallon in the city, 34 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 105.1 inches. Its overall length is 178.5. It has a width of 70.9 and a height of 55.9 inches. And now as we move on to the exterior styling for this entry-level sedan from BMW, this model also has the M Sport package, which I think is a must for any BMW. And starting up front for this model, this has gloss black for the surround on the kidney grille. Matches nicely, of course, with the exterior color being black. This also has active grille shutters, which will open to provide a lot more cooling to that engine, along with all of the cutouts that you see running throughout the lower section. Right in the middle is the forward-facing sensor for the adaptive cruise. You can see those massive cutouts on each side of that. And this even has LED fog lights in the lower section, along with the LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signal, which have a great design to them. And then there's some clean lines running down the hood, meeting the top of the bumper very nicely. And you can see the lines on both sides with the BMW badge right in the middle. I think it gives it a fantastic look. For this car, it makes it look a lot more sporty. And for the side, this has a set of 19-inch wheels with the two-tone design. You can see the M logo there. This has body-colored side mirrors with the integrated turn signal, even a sunroof too. And everything else for the side is blacked out, all of the window trim. There's a little bit of plastic in that lower side skirt. The door handles are black too. Gives it a really clean look, especially with that line going just underneath the door handles. There's also one in the lower side skirt too. It has a nice, almost coupe-like design to it for this sedan style. Now for the rear, this also has a trunk-mounted spoiler, finished off in that body-colored trim. There's the BMW badge, backup camera with the LED taillights as well. This even has parking sensors, and then there's some dark gray trim for that lower diffuser, as well as the dual exhaust on each side. And with the exterior wrapped up, let's move on to the trunk space. You can use the button on the key fob or the one just to the left of that backup camera. And for the size of this vehicle, there's actually a good amount of space. Even with those back seats up, there's a net over on that passenger side. You can even lift up the floor too and fold that piece back. So you have a lot more hidden storage space underneath the floor essentially, where you can put some smaller items as needed. And you can even fold down the back seats. Just by pulling on that tab on each side, they will go down, and that gives you a lot more interior space. This is on the smaller side for the sedan lineup. Now there is a grab handle underneath on each side, or you can just grab the top of the wing and you can easily close that up. And as we work our way to the back seats now, this interior is very nice with the exterior black, the magma red leather interior. Has a nice two-tone design to it, especially for this door handle. Now there's brushed aluminum on the release handle. There's the window control, a little bit of storage underneath. And I like how you actually have this floating style for the grab handle. So you can put items through if you need to. It just makes it a little bit more versatile in that aspect. And we have the full leather seats. Now I am 5'10". As I work my way into these back seats, it's really not all that hard to enter and exit. I have plenty of room for my feet. There's also a storage net behind both front seats. 2 air vents are right in the middle, along with 2 USB-Cs. Now my head is just up against the headliner, so I could be back here comfortably, just kind of slouching down a little bit. But if I needed to, it is functional for full-size adults. If you're not using them a whole lot, it's really not all that bad, but even if I were to be back here, I could be comfortable. So I like it for the size of this. Those are actually versatile. And right in the middle, if I pull this down, this is the armrest, along with the 2 cup holders if you need to use that. And you can also fold the middle seat down. So if you have some longer items that you need to place through, you can do that. You have a little bit higher of an armrest if you need to do that. And you can also fold the headrests down. So you can see this one is up at the moment. We have them folded back just to give you a little bit more visibility. And there's really no pillars for your backseat passenger. So visibility is pretty open, so it doesn't feel too claustrophobic, especially for how small this is. Now for the front door panel, there's the addition of the memory seating adjustments, all the window controls, which are power folding, the trunk release, and a lot more storage space in the lower section. This also has the M badge, of course, having the M Sport package, and the full red leather seats up front, which are all automatic. There's even an adjustment for this front section, so I can pull that out if you need a little bit more leg comfort. And you have to step over this door sill. It drops down just a little bit, but it's very easy to enter and exit. And as we move on to the steering wheel, it's completely covered in solid black leather. It is a heated steering wheel. There's the M badge too. All the cruise control adjustments are on that left side. Right side, you'll see volume and tuning along with some Bluetooth controls. A lot of brushed aluminum. It's even on these steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. Let's fire up this 228i. With my foot on the brake, that button is down below, and we can bring this to life. And looking at this digital gauge cluster, on the left side is the fuel level along with miles per hour. Tach and engine temperature are on that right side. Now the map will always stay right in the middle. I think that's a really cool feature that BMW has. And then to the right of that, within the tach, you can go through a lot more info using this button on the top of the turn signal stock. So currently you can see some data information. You can also pull up live readouts for horsepower and torque. So if I give this some gas, you will see those adjust. You can also pull up the G-force meter. You can monitor your audio, just depending on what you have. You can also look at what gear the vehicle is in, along with the driving modes. So currently this is in comfort. There's a live readout for your MPG, and that is it for the gauge cluster. It doesn't give you a lot of information, but it is all very helpful to have. Now on this left side of the steering wheel is all the headlight adjustments, dimmer switches for the gauges, even a little bit of storage space. So you could place some items down there if you needed to. And then as we work our way to the middle, you have a lot more info to go through. So this is the home screen where you can see navigation along with media and phone. If I swipe over, there's some more data information along with the compass. And then there's the date and the time and a few blanks where you can put more information if needed. And on this left side, these are all presets. So you can quickly get to your music, pull up your phone and go through all of that info. Look at the navigation and put in all of that information as you need to. If I go into car, you can actually look at a lot more, like the driving information. You can go into the sport displays, so you can monitor all of this. If you're doing some spirited driving in your 228i, you can look at all of that information. You can even go to the vehicle status, so you can monitor all of that. And then under settings, you have a lot to go through, from your interior lighting, you have your driver assistance, different driving modes that you can configure. So it's nice to have all of that, even the general information to set that up how you'd like to. You can look at the owner's manual as well. You can even go into the Apple CarPlay and the Android Auto and some other apps, just depending on what you need to use. So by using the controls down below, I was able to further go through that info with this rotary dial, and then you have shortcuts to everything else just in front of that. So it's nice that you have the touchscreen or you have those controls. And then just underneath that is another LCD screen for all of the climates. So fan speed is right in the middle. There's temperature on each side. There's even a shortcut to the intelligent safety. So this will show you some technology features that are offered for this 228i, which do come standard, which is nice to see. So you can quickly get to all of that information. And then on the left and the right side, there's the heated seat adjustments along with some of the other AC controls. And underneath that, there's power and volume for the radio, all of the presets and tuning. And then this even has a wireless charging pad located down below with a small lip, so that way your phone will not slide out. There's two cup holders along with a 12 volt and a USB. And then looking at this shifter, pushing on the release, we have the backup camera that will appear with the sensors on that right side. You can turn on just the sensors if you'd like to, but with all those guidelines, it gives you a lot of visibility. You can also shift using the paddle shifters by putting it into the manual setting, and then park is located just on the back side of that. Now there's traction control along with the parking sensors, the engine start stop feature, and then you can also go through these 3 different driving modes. So this does have a sport mode, it has comfort, and then eco as well. So just depending on your driving style. There's the auto hold along with the electronic parking brake. And then for the center armrest, there's a good amount of storage along with an auxiliary, so you can charge electronics as needed. There's also plenty of storage in that glove box as well. And we'll take another look at this beautiful interior. I love seeing colors like this, especially with the exterior being black. It is a great complement. And with the entire sunroof, I can open up that sunshade. It goes all the way to the back headrest pretty much. By using that control in the middle, you can also open up the sunshade. There's the dome lights on each side, and then a few call buttons as well. And so now it's time to talk about the MSRP for this 228i. The model that I'm in right now has an MSRP right over $45,000. Honestly, I think that is pretty good, especially for what you're getting for this car. It is a smaller size sedan from BMW, but at the same time too, you can compare this to some other vehicles. Let's say a fully loaded Toyota Camry is going to be right around the same MSRP, right in the same ballpark as this BMW. So if you want something that's a little bit more sporty, a little bit more on that higher end level than some of the other competitors that are available, you can still get into a BMW that still offers a lot. Like I said, this is a smaller size sedan, but you really have a good amount of room. This is a practical daily driving vehicle, and it's going to offer you that BMW ride that you're looking for. It's going to be comfortable and smooth with the different driving modes that you may not get in some of the other competitors. And we also have the M Sport package, which I think is a must. And in sport mode, you can feel a little bit being front wheel drive, kind of some of that pull in the wheel, but obviously it's not bad. And as we come around this turn, it handles well. So if you want a sedan that's going to have some performance characteristics to it, this is a perfect vehicle. It's going to be very fuel efficient as well. So you're pretty much getting the best of both worlds for this entry-level BMW. I love all of the tech. Maybe the 2024 year model will include the new screen that BMW is putting into a lot of their vehicles. But aside from that, it's a very nice vehicle for the money. With all the trim, there is some plastic here and there, which is to be expected, of course, but it's also quick. That's a mild acceleration. That turbo engine gets us up to the speed that we need. And it's not too loud either. But the shifts are incredibly quick. It's something that's pretty cool from BMW to be able to get something that is essentially the base level, entry level BMW, but it even has paddle shifters that are just as quick as, let's say, an M4 competition, something that is truly a lot more performance oriented. You still get characteristics like that in the shifts for these paddles. Now, how often are you going to be using the paddles in this car? I don't know, I would use them quite a bit. This is a sporty enough vehicle where you could take this on back roads like I'm on right now and do a lot more spirited driving than what I'm doing. And a mild acceleration, we're up to speed. Like I said, this is not a heavy sedan, but it will get up and move. And then when you're ready, you can pop it back into a more dialed back setting and just cruise. This is very comfortable and quiet, as you would expect from BMW. There's really been no road noise, there's no wind noise that I can hear at the moment. And taking that turn at a normal speed, it handles it well. I am thoroughly impressed with what you can get for this price tag. Now, of course, you could get some other options. I don't think that this one is fully spec'd out. So I believe that you could get some other trim accents, maybe, just a few other creature comforts, depending on what you're looking to get and what your budget is. But the average price of a new car is essentially what we're sitting in right now. So this is an affordable car for most people. At the average price point, you could easily get into this BMW and have that BMW badge every time you drive this. So I think that is pretty cool how BMW has some of these entry-level options and models that you can go with, so you can still get a BMW over some of the other competitors that still have a similar price. And we're gonna pop it back into sport mode because we'll do another acceleration from second gear. And here we go. Very smooth in those shifts as well. It's going to provide you with a nice, comfortable ride. And I think that is going to wrap it up for this walk around review and test drive behind the wheel of the 2023 BMW 228i Gran Coupe. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.